Welcome, everyone, to the RSN Zone Week 8 edition. Andrew Mild with Matt Skur. And Matt, you and I have been enjoying some football as it's getting into the second quarter. We can hear the excitement going on in the background right now. Is there a game that's caught your eye so far?
All three of them that we're broadcasting, even the one that we got audio only, they're all real tight games. You know, Maryville's up 7-0 in the second. You got Valpo up on Portage 7-0. Crown Point's up 21-3 on Chesterton. So everything's tight. I think even LaPorte's beating Michigan City over there.
Yeah, right now it's 7-0, but it sounds like Xavier McKinney just had a big play. We also have the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard, but there's the three games going on right now. Crown Point leading Chesterton. They just found the end zone, came back from an ad break. Portage and Valpo, two teams at the bottom of the DAC right now. They're in a close bout, and then Maryville just got deterred from the goal line on a fourth and goal. LC was able to stop them.
Yeah, LC's playing with some fire here. They have been moving the ball fairly well. They just haven't been able to, put it in the end zone yet.
We're looking at Portage, air it out. Cody Young, deep shot. Oh. Cody Young, I would say that in this spread offense, he's made some pretty risky passes.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's something that is just a one-read play or if it's, he has multiple options. He's just trying to go for the big one.
Jumping all over the place is Chesterton trying to get something going here with Govea. And you said it in the tailgate show. If Chesterton can sit on the football and allow Govea to have those 3-yard plays and get first downs, keep the chains moving, keep Crown Point's offense off the field, they'd have a chance. Unfortunately, Crown Point scored so quickly because of a turnover, a couple of really good returns. When you go up 21-3 so early, now Crown Point has all the momentum, and Chesterton's got to air it out with Hunter Boyd.
Yeah, Crown Point's forcing them to be one-dimensional, and that's what they've been successful at all year long, is forcing teams to be one-dimensional. Ooh, there's another.
And Crown Point just got an interception. You can't blame that one on Hunter Boyd. That pocket collapsed quickly, but that's the thing about the Crown Point defense. It's so suffocating. They have so many great athletes on that side of the football.
Yeah, and it's a good mix of seniors and underclassmen. I consider juniors underclassmen too because they got another year. But I think at one point they had freshman Summers getting a lot of snaps. So their secondary is all older upperclassmen and everything like that. Senior, I think all four of them are seniors back there with Fanton, Van Tichel, and then they got Oscar Biasi and Cavalcade.
Yeah, if Crown Point gets a win, they'd listen to this. They'd be 43-3 since 2022. Crown Point. They've not lost a regular season game since Michigan City to close out 2021.
That's quite a run there for.
I would say so.
And we've seen. You haven't really seen that since the Hobart teams in the 80s.
No.
When they had their runs. I mean, Griffith had a few stretches there. Andrean had a few stretches there, but they were always losing one, maybe two regular season games.
Man, another moon ball from Portage. And I do not think he was in. Yeah, they're moving the ball back.
Cooper Molaski's in at quarterback now.
And that's one thing I wrote down because I was watching a Crown Point game back. I didn't realize that they had a dual quarterback system.
They do. Early on in the season, they were switching either every other series or every two series. Lately, the last few games I've seen, Custy's played the first quarter, Molaski's played the second quarter, and then by then it's...
And you were a defensive backs coach. What does that do for you if you have to try and prepare for not one, but two different quarterbacks going into a game?
It's tough, but like Roy Richards used to do that a lot at Morton. And a lot of times you get that, you see the tendencies, especially when you play them late in the season. You see the tendencies where if this quarterback's in, 80 to 90% of the time they're going to run. If this quarterback's in, they're going to throw. So you can sit on that, but you can't bank on it because it's something that, they try to trick you with, especially if they know how you scout.
Right.
Which now everybody has huddles, so everybody's got every game from every team, and you can break everything down.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about technology is how much more access you have to players before you see them. It used to be you had to trade film, and it was kind of like a handshake agreement. Like, hey, this is our film from the last game. We want to see yours. Nowadays, it's hey, let me look up any player, and I'll find their own huddle account.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can look up the huddle accounts. I'm sure all the schools they just do whatever. But I remember times where I'd be driving down to Lafayette Saturday morning or Friday night, swapping films, and then when you play that team the next Friday, you bring them back. So when come playoff time, Coach Racky would have us driving all over the state to try and get as many game films on teams you played. And then you do favors for those other teams. You build your coaching friendships and stuff like that. So we would play. Just say you played South Bend St. Joe's or something, and game 12, we would have 11 games on them. Ooh, there's a big run.
Big run, the LC game. And you got to remember, too, Matt, that drive started on their own 1 yard line.
Yeah, that's huge for Lake Central. One, they're moving the ball, driving and everything, and potentially scoring, and they're keeping the ball out of Maryville's offense.
Michael Hill can't beat you if you can't be on the field, right? That's how they always say.
It's a completely different game last week if they didn't fumble twice inside the 5 last weekend.
Yeah.
They drove down. They were in position to score and possibly beat Chesterton, but they fumbled once, and Chesterton recovered, and they fumbled again. Chesterton picked it up and scored.
Yeah, I've seen a few times that LC's been throwing some pretty unique plays, too, against Maryville. It looks like they might have just gotten someone off sides. There was a play where they faked an end around and pitched it forward, but it got blown up as Maryville scattered out. But you have to go out and you really got to go deep in your playbook if you want to get an upset win, especially against the Pirates.
Yeah, you should use everything you got in your arsenal to try and do something. Who cares if you got film on it now? You're trying to get a win, and it's a statement win if you win this game. And And
as we said, LC's lost 4 games in a row, and they lost to LaPorte on the road, a game that they probably should have won. But nothing clicked for them offensively. They never got into a rhythm, and LaPorte took advantage of it. Crown Point moving up.
Mulaski with the big run there.
Was that on a 2nd and 16? Am I reading that graphic right?
That was correct.
Must have been a holding on Crown Point.
3rd and 7 now. But, getting back to Lake Central, they're on the cusp of doing some good things, and they always shoot themselves in the foot.
And they have some good players, too, that are getting some college looks. Reddig is committed to go play at Air Force, which is a D1 school. It's just, I think, putting it all together and finding that interest in LC, because despite them being the big as a school as they've had, I don't think they've really embraced football as they have with their other sports like basketball or baseball.
No, and their baseball program's successful. They won a couple of state championships. They're always a contender.
Players getting drafted to the big leagues.
Yeah. There's a touchdown in the Crown Point game. Let's see who scored that. It looks like. Let's see here.
You're gonna see the good replay. A quick little hitter, some good block. Nice move.
Caden Smith.
I will say, though, there's a few times now where a touchdown's been scored by Crown Point simply because Chesterton didn't tackle.
Yeah, and Chesterton's usually that's one thing that they're really good at. They're a sure tackling team.
Their linebacking core is very good.
Very good, very dominant team. But, your Crown Point and Maryville are like the elite teams in the area.
28-3. I think there's a Falcons-Patriots joke to be made there. Mm-hmm. I can't believe that LC's drive is still going on. They've milked off about 6 minutes on this one drive, and they are knocking on the door of the end zone.
Yeah, but,
how many passing plays have they gone to on this drive from Valpo?
Big catch for 18.
That's Valpo. I think every time Justin's brought the Valpo game up, we've seen Hosek airing the football out.
Yeah,
which is so unique for Valpo.
Yeah, Valpo's usually been a run-dominant team, but they don't have that elite or top-tier running back that they usually have. He's a strong runner, but they just haven't gotten the running game going yet this year.
Yeah, Finley only averaging 44 yards a game, which is unheard of for a Valpo running back in years.
Yeah, and I don't think Valpo has as strong of run blocking line as they've had in the past either. They might be younger or something out there. I don't know how many kids are back.
They just ran a swing pass, and I think the running back got it. Maybe he's just short. Oh, there it is. Touchdown, Vikings.
That's big for the Vikings to score some points here.
Quick little hitter, make a man miss. And once again, we were just talking about it with Chesterton, but that's a play where you look at it and your corner did the right thing. You read it perfectly. He had the running back or the wide receiver stood up, but you missed a tackle.
Yeah, I mean, and it happens. They're high school kids.
It's true.
You know, it's not. They're not sure tacklers. They're not. Ooh. Oh.
Are we still looking at a 7-0 LaPorte lead? I am surprised that Michigan City has not found the end zone yet. That is one of the more explosive offenses that had two 50-yard passing touchdowns and one 60-yard rushing touchdown in the second half last week against Portage. And they have done nothing against LaPorte's defense.
It's a trap game.
It is. Oh, that's the thing, though. You get some blowout wins under your belt.
You're looking ahead to Crown Point and possible, you know, if they go into that game with one loss in conference and Crown Point's undefeated, that's could be for a championship there. You know?
And that's the thing, too, is that LaPorte and Michigan City, they're in the same sectional. And for Michigan City, they're also in a sectional with Chesterton and Valpo, teams that they've already beat this year. They took care of Chesterton. They had a really good game against Valpo. I think that's arguably one of the best games of the year. And then right now, as you said, this could be a trap game if they don't get their mojo going.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like 1 week you think this team's a front runner, and next week it's Michigan City, then the next week it's Chesterton, and you just don't know. But, I mean, again, they still got to get through Maryville in the regionals.
That's the thing, is Crown Point, they're sitting at the top of the 6A, and then Maryville's been running the 5A the last few years. And I would say that easily their rankings are correct. Crown Point at 1, Maryville at 2. I don't see anyone else arguing that those two shouldn't be at the top.
Yeah, you know what would really be nice if for some reason they decided to reshuffle the scheduling and Crown Point played Maryville near the end of the season.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's...
Because they played about, what was it, week 3 this year?
Yeah.
Crown Point and Maryville played their 2 non-conference games and then faced each other at Crown Point.
You know, so you're pretty much playing for the conference championship week 1 of conference.
Yep.
Let's see if Lake Central can punch it in here. I mean, to me,
that's a 99-yard drive if they cap it off.
To me, you're Lake Central.
Is this a tush push we're about to see? I don't know if he got it. Yeah, maybe a late push?
He fell in.
Looks like they did.
A 99-yard drive. That spanned about 7 minutes.
Yes. You don't see that a whole lot in high school football, that patience and driving down the field like that. Usually there's 2 or 3 big plays where you get chunk plays.
Right.
You know, I mean, Lake Central had 1 big chunk play, but they pretty much methodically drove down the field there.
And I'm trying to think on who started off with the football first, but Lake Central started with the football first. So Maryville will start the ball with the second half.
Oh, it's blocked.
Imagine that. 99 yards, go all the way for a touchdown, extra point block. But, you know, for Maryville, that's a pride thing. You know, at least make a play to keep yourself at a lead.
Oh, there's a flag on the PAT, so maybe they
we got a big play going on in the Portage game right down here. And the flag just got thrown in there, too.
No, it's against Maryville.
I will say that the fun part of these games that we're seeing early on is that a lot of games that we thought were going to be decided by the end of the first half are staying really close.
Yeah, you know. You would think just on paper, the way the seasons have been going, Maryville would be up big on Lake Central right now.
And this is the first time I've seen Maryville this year. But I saw what they did against Valpo, and they scored the 21 unanswered points in the second half. They're very much a second-half team.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you see them shooting blitzing linebackers in the second half, rushing 5, 6, 7 guys. But the thing is the difference between Maryville and Lake Central, or Maryville, I'm sorry, Lake Central and Valpo. Valpo throws the ball a whole heck of a lot more than Lake Central. So Lake Central is going to mix in that run pass. Cam Reddick is more of a running quarterback than he is a passing quarterback. So
yeah, he's going to Air Force as an athlete, not going as a quarterback.
Yeah, so you don't know where he's going to play when he gets there. He could be a running back, he could be a receiver, he could end up on the defensive side of the ball.
But that has to help, though, as playing as a quarterback and being the signal caller and understanding the opposing defenses. And he played running back. He played wide receiver. He's learned different ways to recognize a defense.
There's a big pass by Hunter Boyd.
A miscommunication by the Crown Point defense. You don't see that very often.
No, it looks like he just got in. I don't know if they were playing zone or man or what, but if they were playing zone, it looks like he got in between the zones. Safety didn't get over the top or something, and Lake Central going for 2. Oh!
I'm telling you, watching LC's offense has been really fun tonight because their plays I've never seen before.
Great idea. He just kind of floated it a little too much. If you'd have let him a little bit, he would have had it. No problem.
It looks like Reddick was trying to catch it and then fall into the end zone all in one motion instead of securing the football and then getting in.
Ooh.
The Chestertons find the end zone. They did. Chesterton scored a touchdown on Crown Point. They're creeping closer. Still 7-0 LaPorte down there.
Yes,
7-0. Wow.
The Michigan City just get a big play, though, from what I'm seeing. That's the thing, though, about Michigan City is that they consistently shoot themselves in the foot in the first half, but they make up for it for a great second half. But you've been there. You've seen it. If you're going to win any sort of hardware going into sectional and regionals, you have to play a clean first and second half, from the first whistle to the last.
Yeah, you can't get let these penalties pile up against a good team. They do this against Crown Point next week. They'll be
Crown Point will be
a running clock.
Exactly. Because as the schedule gets harder and you start facing better teams, if you get behind, you might be able to get back in it, but then you might run out of steam right at the end.
Right, yeah, you'll wait. It's like basketball. You waste all that energy.
Right.
Ooh, big return for Maryville. They're in business with 1:17 left.
And I saw 2 timeouts for Maryville still.
Let's see here after the replay.
So we might see Mike Hull be able to orchestrate some points for Maryville at the end of the first half. Can we? Actually, I want to see both these games because Portage is knocking on the door of the red zone themselves. They're inside the 35.
So Lake Central took their 1 timeout after the penalty on the extra point. So they retried and it was no good.
So Portage has 2 timeouts in 30 seconds, and they just threw a deep pass that went incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Maryville, if they decide to go in their Oregon-style super speed mode.
I mean, that's a perfect way to start out the drive, especially after you sat on the bench for about 7 minutes. Quick pass, get your rhythm back in, get out of bounds, stop the clock, save those timeouts.
Yeah, clock stops at first down, so with their hurry-up offense there, they might not even need to use a timeout.
Man. As I said in the tailgate show, this is the first time I've seen Michael Hill spin the rock before, and I see what the hype's about. He is looking extremely comfortable. That ball spins, and he puts it right on the money. Man, it's a really good spot. He threw it to the top shelf. Got out of bounds again, first down. There's that big play. Correction, you're not seeing it on your double box, but Chesterton had a big play set up for their touchdown. Crown Point has 4 minutes and 8 seconds left.
Yep.
That's the broadcast. That's on me. See, to talk about how good he throws the ball, and then he throws the pass a little high.
The big thing is they're going to try and pick apart Lake Central's secondary with that pass, and you're going to see Lake Central try to jump those routes, and it'll be a double move, and they'll score, or it'll be a deep ball for them.
If 3rd and 1 is going to be 4th and 1 now for Portage. Love a good old triple box. Crown Point's moving down the field. They're already at midfield. They're looking to respond. Another incomplete pass. A couple of bad ones from Hill.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with
Oh, nice catch in the Crown Point game.
Maryville's offense will be sometimes their receivers kind of get the drops.
Well, they should have had a touchdown earlier, but the wide receiver dropped it. It was on his back shoulder all by himself, and I think he got a little too excited knowing that he's wide open. Right. That's the thing. You can be sometimes too wide open, and then you can worry about what you're going to do after you catch it.
Yeah, I mean, you got plenty of time with 2 timeouts. There should be no reason. Yeah, I mean, you still have the run and the pass open. Well, 1 timeout now. Looks like they wasted one. But
well, Portage just got a good run from their backup quarterback, Duff. And last week, their starting running back, Paulo Gibbs, went out with an injury. I haven't seen him yet. Another deep ball. And they won a penalty, and I think they had a case. They're going to show the replay, and I want to see what you think of this, Matt. Is this clean? Is this a PI?
you could probably throw a flag on that.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, it's one of those things where that's the judgment. I might have thrown the flag on it if I was doing it, but, you know, it could be also good no call.
Right.
You know, I mean, that was so touchy. He really didn't, you know, now in years past, that's an automatic flag because he didn't turn his head to look back. But now you don't have to.
Well, the Portage does have a good kicker, and I think they have 1 second left. So I think they're going to have to settle 2 seconds. So I think they're going to settle for a field goal. I'm not sure what the range is that their kicker is. I know as long as it was around 37, 38 this year. So we've seen a lot more passing in this part of the state.
Yeah.
Well, there's Gibbs, big man rumbling. And the big man's going to be just short. Shoestring tackle. That's the IU commit that plays both ways for CP. One of the better linebackers you're going to find. There's the kick. I told you he has a leg.
Kick is good. That was, what, a 42-yarder?
I would say it was in that range. 13-3 at the half. Vikings leading. And a couple more games getting close to the half. Don't forget, any games that you're looking for a particular score, you can still check out the Track and Van Til hometown scoreboard. Hobart beating Morton 13-0. That was a game you and I were really excited about. And Hobart shutting out Morton right now.
Yeah, if you guys are out there and you have an update or something like that, put it in our comments and we'll try and get it the game updated for you, because sometimes we don't have the ability to get all the scores.
No.
Rensselaer leading River Forest in the second.
You saw that one. That game went to the half. Valpo and Portage. Can Hill orchestrate a late drive here? Now he's got a first down and got out of bounds. But Portage's got an interception. Yeah. The second interception in the first half. And just talking about how good Michigan City has been about not turning the ball over, and they've been struggling today and giving the ball up.
Lowell's leading Munster, getting ready to go into halftime, 35-7.
Oof.
Down in the Inferno.
And then we said, Lowell, they're red hot right now.
Yeah, you know, that you can't ask for a better way for the season to go for them. You know, heading into the final week of the season against Andrean, and then, you know, Sunday the sectional draw, 5 o'clock our time. You know, you get to see who you play first round of sectionals, what your road's going to look like, and
is that a bit distracting for your team going into your final regular season game, knowing who you're going to play in the sectional game after that? You start thinking ahead a little bit too much?
Sometimes. It all depends.
Okay.
You know, with the blind draw, you never know. You know, you could play, you could have the Hobart-Lowell matchup week 1 in the playoffs, or everything could be positioned where it is. I can remember times when we were coaching, what the draw would be out on Sunday. We'd be sitting in the coach's office Monday morning with the whole 4A bracket,
Right.
predicting who's going to win to see how many home games we get, because Coach Radke was, for some reason, he had all the formulas made up, knew everything, exactly which scenario we needed to be at home for semi-state, to be at home for regionals.
So you're he's like a high school football bracket scientist.
Yes, he is. It's something to be seen. But no, you'll have all those teams will have their little watch parties and everything. And
this is a bit of a risk, but it's going to pay off. Maryville touchdown to close out the first half. I mean, that's a great way to respond after you watched your defense get gashed and let LC go 99 yards to score.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's great for Maryville just to march right down the field. And they got such a high-powered offense. You give them 30 seconds, they can put points on the board.
For LC, is that a little bit depleting to march the 99 yards, take 7 minutes off the clock, and then watch Maryville go down the field quick and score right back?
It is, but I mean, there's in game the mind. Your coaching mindset is you're mad because you let that happen. What could I have done differently? Should I have blitzed them? Should we have done this? But Hill's such a good running quarterback. It's hard to, where are you going to blitz from? You got to have the athletes at defensive end that can contain him, so you can contain that pocket where he's not bouncing outside. And then if he does, do you have the athletes in the secondary to guard their receivers long enough so you can get to the quarterback?
Are you a little bit surprised watching that play that LC didn't sit back in the zone and drop back their defenders a little bit more? Because Maryville had no timeouts left, and there was 9 seconds.
Yeah, I mean,
they had to throw.
You probably could have had your 4 DBs standing on, starting feet on the goal line.
And don't let them get behind you.
And don't let anybody get behind you. Almost like a no doubles late inning in baseball,
right.
This is what we need to do. Drop 6, rush 3, or rush 4, drop 7, rush 4. Just so you can contain the quarterback, have a spy on the quarterback. And, even I think Cam Reddick plays defense too. You could even have him.
Yeah, he was a linebacker before he switched to quarterback.
You can even have him spy on the quarterback. He's quick, he's quick enough to stay with Hill.
That's why I was a bit surprised when I saw that. And there was a couple of Maryville wide receivers that were wide open.
Yeah.
And that would most likely be the final play of the
Lake Central's got a good return, good special teams.
And Maryville will start with the football to begin the second half. So you got to keep that in mind. That Maryville scoring to close out the first half was huge.
Somebody hurt?
Could be. Yeah, Justin's saying take a break, so we will take a break. You're watching the RSN Zone, a game night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, my name is Mark Macknick. I'm the owner of Mark Macknick CPA firm in Highland, Indiana on Kennedy Avenue. I've been working with Region Sports for years now. Started working with Chris years ago, just on some special projects, advertising here and there. After a while, kind of increased the advertising. Mainly was doing it for the community involvement. It's such a great network and program they do with the high school sports. But as time went by, I started getting on there more frequently. And then the phone starts ringing. And I was getting calls all the time from people. Hey, I saw your ad on so-and-so football game. I saw your ad on a basketball game. And it's really helped my business. It's increased the volume. We're a tight community in Northwest Indiana, sports-wise, and just a lot of community involvement. So that's mainly why I got into it. I remember watching one game. It was a basketball game, and I think there was a little bit of an altercation. And as the altercation was happening, my ad was right on the bottom, and someone typed in, "I wonder what Mark Machnick's thinking right now." And I was thinking, wow, this is awesome. It's really been a great feature for my business. It's the only advertising I do. I don't advertise anywhere else other than Region Sports. You know, it's for the business, but mainly for the involvement with the community. I played high school baseball here in Highland. And ever since I've been advertising on Region Sports, a lot of my old coaches are now my clients. A lot of my old teammates come in here. My recommendation, if you're a business here in Northwest Indiana, I think Region Sports is, for your money, it's one of the best places that you can advertise. I mean, I can advertise on billboards. I could do anywhere I want to. And I choose Region Sports mainly because I get a lot of feedback. You know, especially on the high school level, a lot of the parents, if they can't make a game, they're watching it online, they're watching a replay, the grandparents. So it's done wonders for my business, and it's my go-to for advertising. It's the only spot I would advertise. So if you're a business owner in the area, really look into advertising on Region Sports. It's going to be well worth your money, and you'll make tenfold on what you're spending. Region Sports Network, they're the only game in town, but they're more than just a game.
We're back on the RSN zone. Andrew Mild with Matt Skura. Only one game going on right now, and that's Crown Point and Chesterton. Chesterton, 2 timeouts. They're on their own 40 with 1:42, trying to close out the first half with some points. They did score a touchdown on their last drive against this very stout Crown Point defense.
Yeah, they had a couple of big plays, breakdown in Crown Point secondary, and it looks like Crown Point stopped them there, 4th and 4, minute and a half left.
Crown Point might consider using a timeout here, you would think. Maybe not.
Yeah, they'll probably let it run down and they'll go into the half, unless they get a big return on the punt return. But we'll go here. We got
the other games we have going on is Portage, and they are taking on Valpo. It's 13-3 Valpo at the half. Maryville's leading LC 14-6 at the half, and then an audio-only broadcast of LaPorte, Michigan City. The Slicers on their homecoming lead Michigan City 7-0. A bit of an upset going on right now in LaPorte.
Yeah, I mean, LaPorte's been upset special so far this year.
It's true. We saw Maryville, though. They allowed a 99-yard touchdown drive to LC, and then they responded with Michael Hill doing Michael Hill things. And that's the thing I think about makes Maryville so dangerous is we're used to them having good athletes in the running back and wide receiver position, but never really a quarterback that could sling it like Hill before. Does that change Maryville's chances of finally punching into possibly getting to Indianapolis?
You know, that's the big thing is I don't think they've had problems in the offense when they get deep, like in the semi-state.
It's true.
You know, they struggled offensively, but like last year they played Warsaw. Warsaw was a different animal running the ball in their wishbone type offense, double wing, almost Army, Navy-ish.
Which you don't really see a whole lot anymore.
You don't see a whole lot. It's tough to prepare for. And even though you have that team speed, when somebody runs the ball as efficiently as that, it's tough to stop. You know, because you don't see too many teams stacking the box anymore like they used to. And,
no.
You know.
And it has to wear you out because not only physically, but mentally, because you know where that football is going.
Yeah, and especially if you get a team that actually reads their option, where they leave a defensive lineman unblocked, and if that lineman crashes down to tackle the fullback, the quarterback pulls the ball and he's around the corner.
Exactly.
You know, if he doesn't tackle the fullback, they give the ball to the fullback, and he's 3 yards deep before even the linebackers hit him. You know, so it's a tough offense to defend. Mishawaka runs it. a couple others possible regional matchups, where some of our 4A teams might see. But, you know, they're just it's a different animal there. If they can keep the run game going and keep that two-headed monster at the run game and then sprinkle a little Hill in there and make it more of a run-dominant offense come late November, they sure as heck can punch their ticket to the state. Finally break through.
Well, they have 3 different receivers, too. That's the thing, too, that I think gets lost when you're talking about Maryville and their offense, is that it's not just one receiver that Hill goes to. He knows how to distribute the football around. Smoot, Jordan, and Lewis all have over 500 receiving yards coming into this week.
Yeah, that's,
so it's really pick your poison.
Yeah, that's definitely, they can't key on one single guy.
No.
And they don't have that. And eventually these kids may be, they're college talents definitely by far, but they don't have that J.J. Johnson or, or James Aldridge from the past.
Yes.
It's like that Division I Notre Dame running back. They got some Division I receivers, possibly a Division I quarterback over there, but their MAC or their, that mid-level, they're not like top-tier Big Ten. You're not getting an Ohio State recruit.
Right.
They might be a Purdue or a lower-tier Big Ten team, MAC school, Miami of Ohio, Western Michigan, Central Michigan type players. But there's nothing wrong with that. They're great players and they excel. But, you're getting that a three-headed monster at receiver. You got a three-headed monster running in the backfield.
Right.
With Jordan being a running back and having that many receiving yards.
We got some pizza.
Yeah, these are from the Athletic Performance Factory.
Oh, are we the guinea pigs? I mean, I'll happily be a guinea pig for some good pizza.
Absolutely.
I want to switch it back over to the Crown Point Chesterton game. I'm gonna let this pizza. Actually, see, it feels like it's pretty cooled off. Oh, Chesterton just blew up a screenplay.
It looks like Lake Station's leading Boone Grove 14-0 at the half.
Oh wow. That is a 10 out of 10 pizza. And this place is gorgeous. The first time I've been in here. I've been here since the Region Sports Network moved the RSNZONE over here. You guys got to circle on your calendar the opening day. Do we have an opening day for Athletic Performance Factory? No? No opening day yet? Be on the lookout for it because this place is awesome. Couple weeks is what they're hoping for. Doesn't really feel athletic when I eat pizza. I'll still take it though.
Yeah, what do you have for a Knox score? Knox Bremen. 36 nothing. 30-6.
Did McLaughlin run for his 1,300 yards he needed?
Yeah, well, he had 2 huge runs early on in the game against Bremen. And of course, the 2-point conversions to go with that.
I think that was my favorite reaction of the night is that games got started before our games, and he broke one. I said, well, that's a good way to start for Knox. As per usual. Chesterton's got the ball back. 2 timeouts. It'll be really hard to score against this Crown Point defense when they're dropping back at 8.
Ooh. Crown Point just missed their 3rd interception of the game there. It'll be an interesting matchup there, the Penn and Crown Point matchup. I believe Penn's quarterback's a Division I quarterback, and I believe they got a Division I wide receiver.
I was on site for their sectional championship game last year, and Crown Point just picked apart their defense. And their offense didn't feel too dangerous at times, but I'd be really interested to see if those 2 teams get to face each other again. Because that will be a really good game, and you can only keep Penn down for so long before they start finding that success again.
Right, and, it's Penn's Penn.
Penn.
I mean, obviously, they're 7-0. Sometimes you look at the 7-0 record and it's, Penn's back. But, you also got to look at the teams they're playing too. I mean, they play all the South Bend schools, which Elkhart's no slouch,
Right.
But they don't play that top tier schedule. But if you're still beating the teams you should beat and you're beating them bad, that's all you can do.
I actually just heard the stat the other day. Penn has the best winning percentage in the state of Indiana for the football program.
All time?
All time. I mean, they've had obviously really good football teams and a lot of accolades to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
But all of our games are in half, and I know that a lot of these high schools haven't had their homecoming yet, so I think we're gonna have some prolonged half times. But let's just pull up the Striking Mantail hometown scoreboard and let's blow this up and let's through some of them. Rensselaer, you're taking it to River Forest, and we said Rensselaer Central had a good offense. River Forest defense not been good this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're at their average here, and it's probably just getting into the third quarter.
Right.
So it could be a running clock here real quick. West Side's up on Bishop Knowles 16-6 at half. I think right now Bishop Knowles is probably just getting overwhelmed by sheer numbers.
It's true.
They're Wheeler's up 35-0 on Whiting.
That's not surprising to me, but it's a bit surprising how fast they got to 35-0. 14-6 Bowman Academy. 42-0. So you're missing points for Wheeler. 35-10. Just saw that game go into the half between Crown Point and Chesterton. Crown Point looking to keep their impressive regular season winning streak alive.
That's a surprising score.
Yes.
49-14. They put up 49 points, and it's not even halftime yet. That's
Justin, I'm sorry.
That's a very potent offense
between Indiana State, the Cowboys, and Calumet tonight. It's going to be a rough weekend for you.
If anybody out there has and Drain 14-0 on Hanover Central, so
and Drain was able to score in the first quarter pretty quickly. But Hanover Central's defense put up a fight. That's the one surprising me. Boone Grove trailing the Lake Station. We knew Lake Station's run game was really good. But I thought Boone Grove would be able to find the end zone a few times.
Yeah, and you don't know. I mean, we don't get to see that game, but Lake Station could have just methodically moved the ball downfield, 5-6 yards here, 7 yards there, running clock. It's. Yeah.
This is the surprising game for me is Michigan City and LaPorte 7-0. Number 7 Michigan City, who's been putting up points at a very high rate, third most in the regular season in the DAC, and they haven't been able to find the end zone against LaPorte, who's given up some of the most points in the DAC this regular season.
Yeah, and LaPorte has a tough defense.
Right.
They got a strong defense. It's just things haven't gone their way offensively lately. But I mean, they've given up a lot of points, but it's surprising that Michigan City hasn't put up points because I think last week Crown Point threw for over 200 yards against them.
Yes.
And they don't have.
And what makes Michigan City so good is that they are balanced. They can beat you with the run game. They can beat you with the pass game. They find so many unique ways to use their offensive weapons, especially like McKinney, who's a 3-star recruit to NIU. And haven't really heard his name a whole lot tonight from the audio stream.
Mm-mm. Michigan City is a big play offense.
They are. I agree with that.
They thrive and live and die by the big play.
But if LaPorte's defense can slow down Michigan City's offense like they did in the first half and it carries over to the second half, we'll see, because Michigan City's known as a second-half team, and Reed Raymond can keep running the football for them, they could pull off a huge upset, and that'd be big for them going into their last game of the regular season next week.
I believe it's against the Maryville Pirates. No, Chesterton plays Maryville next week.
They play Portage at home, which is a winnable game
for
LaPorte.
Yeah, a very winnable game, and I think that might be senior night for them too.
I believe they had theirs early.
Oh, do they?
And I know a lot of teams have started to adopt the early senior night just to get it out of the way. And I think that's the homecoming for LaPorte.
Oh.
But that's really, I think someone was telling me that came over around COVID. They did it early and they said, hey, this is great. But still very emotional for them if they can get the win against Michigan City, play Portage, get the win there. because they're going to go into a tough sectional with Chesterton, Michigan City, and Valpo. Valpo won the sectional last year, but as you and I talked about it earlier, completely different football team from a year ago. It's night and day.
Yeah, and that sectional is a wide open sectional.
I mean, right now, I think your favorite.
Your favorite's probably Michigan City.
Right, depending on how this game goes.
Right. But, again, you don't know what Michigan City team you're going to get that shows up.
I will say, I would love to see a Michigan City-Valpo rematch because Trenton Hart and Kellen Hosick, the two quarterbacks, took over, and that fourth quarter was a whirlwind of a game. I mean, Michigan City was up 2 possessions, and Valparaiso cut it down to the final play. They had a chance to take the lead, and they couldn't complete it. If they get a second matchup against one another in sectional, that would, I think, be the game to watch to open up the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Valpo's playing tough. They just, for some reason, something's not clicking. Their defense isn't what it used to be.
No.
And they're struggling with the running game. If they can get the running game going, along with that potent passing game they have.
Yeah, the defense has allowed over 27 points per game this year. That's not a Valpo stat. Usually they're known for being a well-coached team, detail-oriented. But I'm not sure what's going on in Valpo because even the men's basketball team took a turn this last year. But at least baseball team went on and won state.
Yeah, baseball team went on and won state. But Valpo didn't have that typical big man.
No.
6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guy that they typically had. So they kind of and they lost one of their better players to Lalamere.
True.
But still, I mean, you got to persevere. At that point, with that type of program, it should be next man up.
Exactly.
And
they've really relied on Hosick, and he's been good. It's surprising how one-dimensional the offense has become. But they still have a chance to turn it around.
Oh yeah,
they get the win against Portage, maybe gets them in the right direction, snaps that 4-game losing streak that they're on, and then they get ready for their final game of the year, and they're at home against LC. And I would say that's a winnable game.
Yeah, very winnable game there, And you'll have both of those teams getting ready, looking for the playoffs, looking to get on the right track to head into the playoffs.
Right.
And then they go. Both of them will go into a bye week, with them being 6A and 5A schools. So you'll get that bye week in the first round of the playoffs and heal up and prepare for your first opponent for sectionals. Looks like Lake Central Maryville are coming out of the locker room here to get ready for second half.
And that second quarter went by so fast just because of that long LC drive.
Under 10 seconds left in the half. Griffith was up 56-14 over Calumet.
So
they are broken halfway to the century mark. They dropped a 50 burger already.
Yes.
And if I know Phil Mason, that gas pedal will not be let off.
So it's going to be a running clock.
56-14. I mean,
it's now halftime over there.
You're going to have a potential GSSC or whatever that is, Greater South Shore Conference.
Yes.
Championship game between Wheeler and Griffith, 2 high-powered offenses, 2 stingy defenses that give up, Griffith had the one bad week against Lowell, gave up 42, but other than that, I think, 20 points has been the most they've given up?
You would be right on that.
After that, so they're averaging probably 10, 12 points given up a game on defense. Wheeler's given up next to nothing on defense. The Calumet game was probably the most points they gave up all year. So that's going to be a high-powered matchup.
We could have 2 different conference championship games next week between Griffith and Wheeler, and then Andrean and Lowell.
And then a possibility you got to wait a half here, but there could be a possibility of a Michigan City Crown Point.
Right.
Where if Crown Point wins tonight, they lock up at least a share of the DAC. And, and there's sitting at a 3-way tie between Maryville, Chesterton, and Michigan City, sitting at 4-1, 5-1.
Oh, Maryville will also be included in there too.
Yeah, Maryville, Chesterton, and Michigan City.
Right.
Would be the 3 that are sitting in third.
And we will take a quick break. We'll come back here on the RSN Zone. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep, skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantil.com or download our app today.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday Night Football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
This is the RSN Zone. Andrew Mild and Matt Skura giving you all the different coverage of the games here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. We have a game in progress right now. Valparaiso and Portage have kicked off in the second half. Matt, what should we expect in the second half between these two DAC teams?
It'll be, I kind of think that Portage might try to throw the ball all over the field here to get some points on the board.
It looks like we just had a bad snap.
But Valpo will continue to be Valpo. They're going to do their thing. You know, Hosek's going to throw the ball all over the field. You just can't get too greedy.
It looks like we already had a tackle for loss and then a bad snap here. Portage shooting themselves in the foot early to start off the second half. It's going to be about, what, 3rd and 18, you would say? 3rd and 19? Either way, it's about 3rd and a semi-truck, right?
Yeah, and you don't have too many plays in the playbook for that.
No,
so.
Especially not when your back is to your own end zone right now. But spreading them out. Cody Young needs to make a big play here. And he overshot him. He went to his security blanket, and Hunter Cole made a big play early, wide open. Ran a good post route.
He's getting a little happy feet back there.
Because you can see it right here. Yeah, you get that matchup against the linebacker. He had him turn around, throw right on the numbers, and he can turn upfield and get a first down there.
Easily. He didn't step into his throw and fire, and then shanks the punt.
Valpo could go up 20-3. Oh, they might just take it to the house here. The heck of a return, and Valpo will start inside the red zone.
Lake Central,
the flag went out of bounds.
Central pooches it out of bounds.
Good start.
Quintel halftime kickoff.
It looks like maybe Crown Point and Chesterton have seen Some of their players returned to the field, but they haven't resumed second half yet. The Crown Point's up 35-10 there. If Valpo scored a touchdown here, it's going to be really hard for Portage to get back in this.
Yep. I mean, you're up 13-3. If Valpo can get another score here, I mean, you're just going to have to.
So you have an opportunity here, I think. It's been very unique for Valpo and how tough their schedule has been to finally figure out what the problem has been with the run game. And I want to see the replay here and see what it is. Because I can't wrap my mind around the fact that Valpo is not a run-heavy team and finding success in it.
Yeah, and looking at it, it's just a basic, straight up, zone blocking scheme here. It's not anything special. You're not pulling anybody or anything like that. But
well, they figured out something there.
There's a read option there, and he fooled the defensive end. That defensive end crashed down on that running back hard. Good read by the quarterback there.
And it's Kellen Hosick. Got a good block, too, from the tight end or the H-back.
Maryville's already in Lake Central territory.
They're going for an early bomb.
Oh, just missed him.
If he doesn't put the arms out, did that slow him down? You think it was on the money if you just ran at it?
Yeah, I didn't look like he was going hard.
Sounds like Valpo may have just found the end zone. And they did.
Oh, he got in.
So mistakes by Portage offense gives Valpo great field position, and then they score a touchdown.
And then they get a sportsmanlike on top of it, it looks like. But no, that looked like that receiver was probably the second or third choice.
They play him in Maryville, and Maryville's going to score a touchdown. No dirty laundry on the field. The Pirates now scoring back-to-back drives.
Ooh, linebacker got blown out there.
About a 47-yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing that could happen to Lake Central was score that touchdown, give up a touchdown right out of half.
So I think that flag was on Portage. And Valparaiso is going to go for 2 here. Just try to make it a 21-3 game.
Maryville with the PAT. What Lake Central needs here, though, is a nice drive, get down the field, score a touchdown here, and just eat up some clock.
We've seen some unique play packages from Valpo in this drive. I just want to see if they want to go back to another one here. And no communication for Port. You got to communicate. You have to communicate.
Yeah, if you're playing man, I mean, that's unexcusable.
But did you see anyone go with the wide receiver there?
No.
So
nobody went out. Nobody. They were all focused on either the tight end that was over there or something like that. Nobody was even looking at the.
I even saw that in Portage's game against Chesterton, where the Chesterton tight end just went for an easy 10 in route, wide open. No one went with them, and then there was an easy pass for Boyd, and they got the touchdown.
Yeah, I think, and you know what? A lot of teams see that. They see that, oh, hey, they didn't pay attention to this guy. Let's throw this something similar in our scheme,
right?
Let's run it.
Let's put a guy in motion, force him to communicate, see if anyone goes with him. Hey, no one went with them. Let me go over there. Yeah, I mean, you were a DB's coach. How big is communication when it comes to that level of the defense?
Oh, it's huge. They need to be talking all the time. You know, that was a big thing that we would practice is, when we run our zone defenses, if somebody was running out, somebody was running a streak or a fade down the line, the safety's yelling something to the corner to stay at home or whatever, and not chase something, because if you don't hear anything, you're sticking with your man. If you hear something, then you're coming off because somebody's coming in your area.
And I gotta wonder if maybe that was from the fact that so many Portage players hit the transfer portal right as the head coaching firing changed, because so many players left at that moment.
You don't know if some of these kids are just JV straight to varsity or if they're returning starters or whatever. But I mean, you're at week 8 now. So
It's true.
There shouldn't be that lack of communication.
No, I completely agree with you on that.
Reddick's back for a pass, and
Yeah, nowhere to go. At least he made the smart play there and got out of bounds.
hopefully somebody was in the area. Otherwise, there'll be they just call it an incomplete pass.
Do we have an update on LaPorte and Michigan City?
7-0 for that game, but we got a final.
A final?
North Judson 35-0 over Castle.
So North Judson picking up another win.
Ups their record to 7-1.
One more game to go.
And their only loss comes to a 7-0 Knox team in week 1 of the season, which that Knox North Judson is a big rivalry there. Two adjacent communities, big rivalry game.
And it's just hard when you're facing a Knox team that, as you just talked about with Warsaw, they know how to run the football effectively and efficiently. And when you have a running back that's explosive in the backfield, it becomes almost impossible to figure out how to beat them.
I mean, we watched some of the highlights there, and McLaughlin looks like an offensive lineman running down the field with 4.5, 4.4,
with getaway speed.
Yeah, breakaway speed. His legs are just. He hits the weight room a lot.
It's like tree trunks.
Yes, tree trunks. There you go. Couldn't find the words.
Almost not quite Swaquan, but he's in that area.
No, he's a big boy.
Let's zoom. I want to see that replay.
Catch by Lake Central. I still don't like the first down crap pointing. I just think that's you're down 2 touchdowns. Just catch it, get back to the huddle.
Closer to being a Moss, I would say. This looks like the quarterback just mistimed his leap at the football.
Oh, Valpo just picked it off.
And that's the thing when you talk about the Portage Indians, it begins and ends with them turning the football over.
Yeah, the quarterback's been off all night throwing. He's been high with everything. It's like he's not planting and, driving through the pass.
It just looks like he goes through one read. It doesn't look like he goes through his progression. He just goes with how the play is designed. And if there's a guy there, he just throws it, and it's intercepted. I saw that a few times against Michigan City last week, where he'd throw it before he even looked. And there'd be 2 or 3 defenders in that area.
Yeah, and, that's the bad part about the timing patterns.
Yes.
You're here, you got one read, your catch, 1, 2, throw, and if they jump the route, that you're in trouble.
Exactly.
There's not that pump fake, go.
Yeah, LC trying to stretch this out here and nowhere to go. Snowed under. Valpo just had a good carry. They're inside the 5.
Yeah, being up 21-3 now, I think Valpo can try and establish more of the running game.
Exactly.
And sprinkle in some play action pass or pass through. You can throw the ball. You can do this stuff. You're in control of the game. You need to, establish the run and get that. But
even watching that play there was just penetration right off the snap.
It seems like the linemen can't sustain their blocks. They
No.
get that initial hit, and their running backs aren't fast enough to get through that hole.
Exactly.
Bust a hole before the linemen slip off their blocks.
That's what makes some of the Valpo running backs dangerous from years past, is that they were more balanced, where it was hard to bring them down. But once they got into that second level, they were hard to catch up to.
Yeah, and it looks like Valpo's running backs are a little bit leaner and smaller.
Back to the triple boxes. Crown Point, Chesterton, getting ready. And Valpo scored, but they're going to wave it off and say there was a false start penalty. So it's going to be 3rd and goal and push Valpo back.
Lake Central driving. They're just about in the red zone here. Again, a good long drive, taking some time off the clock. That's what they need to do. If they can get a touchdown here, get the 2-point conversion, make it a 1-score game, now you're dependent on your defense again, and hopefully get a stop, something, maybe bad passes, force them into something.
And that's easier said than done, unfortunately, when you're facing the Pirates.
Yeah. But, and you hate, at this point in the season, you don't want to see moral victories. You want victories.
Yes.
But if you can lose to Maryville 21-14, 28-14, 28-21, 28-17, something like that, where your defense played well enough to win, you just didn't have that high-powered, the offense to score. It's definitely a moral victory, but at the same time, you can't, rest your laurels on that, But to hold a high-powered offense that's averaging close to 40 points a game, to 21, 28.
And it helps, too, when your offense has turned to this. I don't know how you describe LC's offense, but they're just milking the clock as much as they can. A lot of RPOs when it comes to it. And as you just said, it's all about communication with the DBs. But you still have an athlete in Redding. But Redding's being smarter with the football tonight. He's not making mistakes. And I think that was another thing that LC had to talk about was if the offense is making mistakes and giving good field position for Maryville, it's going to make the defense's night much harder. My goodness. What can he do? He's a freight train.
Yeah, Indiana got a good one.
The play action dumped it off to him, and in open field, good luck to anyone else. Trevor Gibbs, huge run inside the 10.
Yeah, I mean, he's been contributing since his freshman year, too.
Oh, yeah.
Crown Point, so. And they're playing, Crown Point's playing several freshmen this year, a lot of sophomores. So, I mean, it's talent all through all four levels.
Valparaiso just fumbled the football on the goal line. Did Portage recover it? Haven't seen a point yet. And touchback. Portage gets a huge fumble on the goal line. I didn't see which running back it was. It could be Finley, and it's really hard to tell at that angle. Coughed it up at the goal line. But that's what's so unique is that Valpo never made those mistakes before.
No, they didn't. I mean, I don't know. You got to just put your shoulder down and run over some people. Yeah. He ran in there tentative and not almost like he was surprised he got the ball.
Yes.
That baffles me that you can have some schools that got a
look at that run in the Crown Point.
They got a sophomore that just runs over and bowls over people, a freshman that'll do that, and then you got a guy that at a school the size of Valpo. And I'm not saying that's one play that we've seen from this running back, but you can't have a Berta type player that lowers a shoulder and lowers the boom and just goes. Or it's just mind blowing.
It is because you're right. Because he sort of stutter stepped and then he wasn't protecting the football. He got hit immediately and the ball came out. And that's the last thing you can do when you're on the goal line like that on a 3rd and goal.
Yeah,
it's fumble the ball because at least you can set up the field goal unit, kick your field goal, take your points, and move on. And here come the Indians of Lake Central. That is turning into a game, and I'm excited to see if LC can make some noise on this Friday night.
Yep. Read option there. Perfect. Maryville sucked in, and they get the touchdown. I mean, this should be exciting over there in Indian Land Burial Grounds.
Any given Friday, that's what they say.
Yep. Crown Point scores again, go up 42-10. But, it's just you're on the goal line. You don't need to look for any holes. Just put your shoulder down, get in there, and run right behind your lineman. You can't get tackled if nobody's getting to you.
Exactly. There's one thing to blame it on your line if there's penetration immediately, but there's one to sort of just hesitate.
Off the upper
That's going to make the game so much harder for Lake Central. Because at least if they were to make that extra point, it'd be 21-13. But now it's 21-12.
I mean, at that point, you're almost better off going for 2. Just to make it 21-14.
Nelson may have no choice for the rest of the game to just go for 2.
Yeah, now they have to go for 2.
But anyhow, the rest of this game goes. All right, now we're going to tune into Portage. They had a really big young run from Cody Young to get him a first down. They just got called for a false start.
Yeah, and I think Cody needs to, get set up when he's passing. And if he doesn't see anything right away, he just needs to take off.
They ran with a speed option there, and might have gotten them a first down. They're pretty close. Back to Chesterton, where they are trailing 42-10 against Crown Point.
And Oliver Brewer's been out for a few games for Crown Point, the Crown Point kicker. So they've had a couple of different guys doing kickoffs. Wagner, I think the kid's last name, and then another Cavalcante is doing the PATs.
Right.
And they've been doing a great job.
So Laporte, who's still holding on to a 7-0 lead, just coughed up the football at about midfield of Michigan City. That game is on the Raging Sports Network, but it is audio only. That's why you have not seen it here on the RSN Zone. Andrew Mile with Matt Skura. Caleb Bernard is working the multitask. And Aaron Svetlin working the scoreboard. So I got it. Okay. No pronunciations. And then Justin Cole is always the mad scientist running RSN Zone. He's a little mad right now because his Calumet team is getting blown out tonight by Griffith. Justin, I wouldn't even turn around if I were you, with it being, 56-14 at the half. Chesterton just had a big play on 2nd and 12 completed for a first down. And here's the thing too. What makes Maryville good is their ability to respond. And they just saw LC score. If they respond here and LC missing that extra point, it's gonna be really deflating for the Indians.
Yeah, I mean, even if they just can't let them score. Well, you gotta get the ball back. But
there's a good run play. Coming in though.
If Maryville has a 7, 8, 10 play drive, something like that, and they drive down the field and score, it's deflating, but at least we didn't give up a big play. But you're at the point in the game now where you can't afford to let them have a 4 or 5 minute drive.
Right.
You got to get a stop. You got to do something.
Track and Van Til hometown scoreboard update. It's 7-0 Laporte at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Ooh.
So an update after 3 quarters, Michigan City is being shut out against Laporte. But Laporte has the ball. And what about, were they at the 50?
Yeah, they're at midfield.
They're at midfield. Okay. I may have to get up and walk away from the table just to watch that game. It's a few TVs away from me right now. But I'll take this triple cast that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're, with the exception of the Crown Point Chesterton game, they're all
long pass from Maryville.
Justin, is there any way you can teach me how to set this up with NFL football?
I get a NFL Sunday ticket.
No, thanks. I don't have that type of cash. You know that. 42-10 Crown Point, 21-3 Valpo, and 21-12 Maryville.
I just don't love an NFL team that much outside of my market that I would pay that much money to strictly watch their game.
No.
If they would just have singular teams, that'd be great.
Yeah, just pay $100 for the whole season or whatever it is for the whole season and get those game.
I think it's $110 or $120 for the entire season with NFL Red Zone for college students for NFL Sunday ticket.
Because I got the Red Zone, NFL Red Zone.
All right, I do too.
My wife likes the Chiefs.
Did she also like Life of a Showgirl?
She likes the Kansas City Taylor Swifts.
There it is. There it is. Just got it confirmed.
And
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
I will live and die with the Bears.
We're heading into a time where we might see the Seattle Mariners versus the Milwaukee Brewers in the World Series, and the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl.
Well, fun fact. The Tigers just got a 2-run home run from Kerry Carpenter to leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Their do-or-die game against the Mariners.
Ooh.
So Derek Skubal still going, though. So that's going to be fun. And then Mike Cubby's playing Game 5 tomorrow against the Brewers. But back to some football. High school football. That's all we're all here.
Maryville's on the missed sack.
Missed sack. Good pass.
He's
magician.
Yeah, he's that sneaky.
And is he a senior?
I think he's a junior.
Is he a junior? Let me look. Yeah, he's a junior.
Yeah, so we got another year of him. That's going to be great. It's going to be fun to watch.
He came in with 2,069 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions.
And he's got, about 500 yards rushing, something like that, too?
495, so yes. And Maryville touchdown.
That's Jordan for the touchdown, right? Cam Jordan?
I think you're right.
He's a dual threat receiver, running back.
Look at the blocking on the outside, too, to seal off that edge.
Yeah.
Jordan cuts back, hits that hole, and then strides right into the end zone.
They got in there. The backside linebacker should be flowing that way to make that play, but
Osick just made a nice play for
a
Valparaiso.
Drag all the way across the field. People lose.
I'll say these TVs look much larger.
Is that a big sack by Chesterton? I'm trying to see that number, if that's who that is.
And is that Custy now in for Crown Point?
Yes.
Crown Point just had to use a timeout, a little ahead of them than the TV behind us.
Custy's at quarterback.
Justin, am I allowed to explore the room a bit? Can I go down to that LaPorte, Michigan City game? Sure. I'm getting the nod of approval. I'm going to get my steps in. I got to see this game.
We'll bounce between games over here. We're going to check this Valpo play out.
26-7 Hobart. Seen that game down here against Morton because they're not just Hammond.
It's Morton. Coming to a close in the third quarter.
Well, Michigan City is inside the red zone.
Michigan City's
and Michigan City is going to find the end zone.
Well,
so that fumble came back to bite LaPorte a bit, and Michigan City just found the end zone. That's something they needed badly.
Yeah, LaPorte had to play the perfect game to get the victory there, and they almost pulled it off. And I mean, you still got what?
10.5 minutes.
10.5 minutes left. So
hey, but we've seen teams miss extra points tonight, so who knows what happens right here.
And LaPorte's offense has the potential to march down the field and take up all 10 minutes.
Actually, Matt, I think Michigan City's going – no, they're kicking the extra point. Okay, I saw Trenton Hart, the quarterback, out there. I thought they were going for 2.
Big run.
That was a 3rd and 24. Did they convert a 3rd and 24?
Yes, they did.
You said it earlier about one of the games you're watching. You don't have a play designed for that. I guess Crown Point has a play for 3rd and 24.
Yeah.
Warren's not completely out of it yet.
Yeah.
An extra point and make it 26-14.
Yeah, Maryville is having a rough time tackling people tonight.
It's the end of the third. Valpo's up 21-3 going into the fourth quarter.
So Valpo is 12 minutes away from snapping their 4-game losing streak. Their only win this year was LaPorte. That's the first time, as we said in the tailgate show, first time they started the season 1-6 since 2014.
Yeah.
Matt, what were you doing in 2014? Because I was just starting high school.
I was chasing my daughters around in travel softball. Going to visit.
Getting those mileages in and getting those dinners at gas stations.
Driving all over the country.
There you go.
For travel softball.
Did you have a favorite place that you guys went to?
We've been to Denver a few times
There you
for
go.
a big tournament out there during 4th of July week. Huntington Beach for national championships. We've been down to Biloxi, Mississippi.
I've heard Biloxi's gorgeous.
Oh, it is. It is. It was beautiful. We stayed at the Hard Rock
Oh, there you go.
Hotel, and huge pool with a walk-up bar, and my kids would not leave the pool, so the parents were happy, and we stayed at the bar, but you could see the golf right there
There you go.
and everything. And
I will say that they're going to have golf simulators here at the Athletic Performance Factory that we're sitting in right now. So I'm going to have to hang out here a few times. You might catch me here on Friday nights after football season's over. So what else we got going on right now? The Portage punted.
Careful with these because it's going to be delayed on our street for the record.
See, Caleb, you got me in trouble. You see what you did?
Got Stratton Vantil hometown scoreboard update. You got final.
What we got final?
47-14 Bowman over Tri-County.
Bowman took care of business. That's what I heard.
yeah,
47-14.
47.
3rd and 5 for Crown Point coming up.
Got this 2nd and 10 for LSU.
Oh, yep. Reddick with the laser beam there.
You're about to see that replay here on RSNZONE.
Custy.
That bit of a risky pass, huh?
Yeah, that was good defense by Chesterton right there. Read it. He saw the guy trying to slip in behind him.
And Laporte, I'm seeing over here, they're going to start just outside of the 40. But they scored their touchdown in the first half and really haven't seen their offense find that consistency again or find any sort of momentum. And right now, Michigan City, I mean, they've been playing a bad football game, Matt, and they're tied.
Yeah, I mean,
Central.
what happened?
Oh, looks like Crown Point's in for the touchdown.
Crown Point makes it 49-10, which will.
It is a Crown Point touchdown.
Make it a running clock there.
And that looks like that game's all wrapped up now. That has to be the dagger through the heart of the Trojans of any chance of pulling up the upset tonight at home against Crown Point.
Valpo's defense has got Portage pinned deep.
LC's punting away.
Looks like the extra point was no good in Crown Point.
So 48-10 CP.
Ooh, Maryville looks like they're coming after the punt. Well, they pull out.
Nice snap.
A 25 for Maryville on this, and they could put the game away right here. I would say touchdown here, and they go up by 33 points if they make the extra point.
Yeah, they could definitely put it away now. I mean, even a long drive.
I mean, the clock's their best friend right now.
Yeah, Lake Central's been struggling to move the ball. They've moved the ball well, but it's been a methodical moving the ball down the field. They haven't had that explosive big play or anything like that.
The way I view it is like in a baseball sense of you can lay down your bunts, get the sacrifice fly, get a run, you worked hard, then the other team comes up and slugs a home run, and they have the same amount of runs as you do. That's how I kind of viewed it with this Maryville LC game.
Yeah, I'm looking for Lake Central. Maybe throw that halfback pass out there that they did last week.
I missed that on the electric plays of the week.
And forehead to punt.
Ooh.
So,
Midfield.
so 3 and out.
Bad punt.
So get the 40.
So
we got this Maryville pass and caught. Bridge, Valpo with the ball.
Ooh, screen. Oh.
They're currently bouncing all over the place. We've got 3 games that have video coverage that you're seeing right now in the triple box, and then LaPorte, Michigan City are an audio-only broadcast. They're also here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Happy that you're joining us on this Friday evening. We're at the Athletic Performance Factory here in Griffith, Indiana. Highland. Griffith, Highland.
Right on the edge.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
But, yeah, one of the few mistakes Hill's made, had a wide open Jordan there and just overthrew him.
Yeah, it looks like he was made of a running back wheel route, and he was open, but he overshot him a bit.
Yeah, instead of putting a little bit of air under it and letting him run underneath it, he kind of
pushed it.
Threw a little laser beam at him.
You're firing laser beams all night. I guess it's hard to get out of that mindset.
Frozen rope.
And that's most likely will be the last play of the third quarter. I'm expecting to see a lot of those in the fourth, a lot of run plays, especially if that's going to give you a 11-yard chunk and make it 3rd and 1 before you hit into the fourth quarter. So Maryville 12 minutes away from getting another win. Hosick gets snowed under. Ooh. That was on a 3rd and 6, so Valparaiso is going to have to punt in about midfield.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, you got nothing to lose as Portage is D, and you just need to shoot guys, do something, stunt, twist. They had a little twist there. You know, confuse that offensive front.
And that's a line that you and I have been picking on all night. That run game hasn't been there. Hosick's been getting hit at times. And that was a bad time to take a sack. Now you got to punt. And it's still a large task for Portage to get back in it, but we've seen crazier things.
Yeah, I mean, you know, heck, Portage could have blocked that punt right there and scoop and score or something, you know. Now they got another 95-yard field.
Why did he call a fair catch and catch it? Don't you just let that roll inside the 5 and see if it'll go out the end zone?
You know, we've always told our return men, feet on the 10, goes over your head, let it go. If they get a good bounce, it's on me as a coach, you know. But you can't. That happened in the Lowell Griffith game. The Griffith punt returner tried to catch one inside the 5, fumbled it. Lowell gets it, 1-play score. You know, there's just too many things that could go wrong trying to field the ball that deep.
Forcing mechanical first down for Maryville. That's going to eat away at that clock and hand LC another loss. Unless they turn it, LC's going to have to start ripping at the football. If Maryville's going to keep it on the ground. A turnover for the Indians is much needed.
Yeah.
Crown Point and Chesterton just ended the 3rd quarter, so they would be heading into the 4th.
LC almost had a sack. Hill gets slammed down and a flag.
Yeah, that's probably.
It's over by the line of scrimmage. That could be holding.
Holding or maybe intentional grounding. You know, you can't, with the picture we got, you couldn't see if there was a receiver in the area.
I didn't see any receivers over there. Because if it's intentional grounding, that's a loss of down and the yards.
Yeah.
Crown Point and Chesterton have headed to the 4th as we're waiting for the referees to decide what the flag is.
Moving it back, we just got to see what the penalty is. Holding.
So it is a holding. So there must have been a receiver there. Maybe just off screen. A thing I would love to know is what Crown Point stats would look like if their starters played from the first play to the last play. Because there's been a lot of games where Crown Point starters have never sniffed the fourth quarter.
Well, yeah, especially, 2 years ago, when they had their state championship run, and Ellison ran for almost 2,000 yards, and I don't think he ever played in the second half until the sectional championship game. You know, I mean, you're looking at guys that probably, you got 13 games in the season, they probably played 5 full games.
Right. What would you say that does for a team when they have such a well-rested club going into the playoffs?
It's good and bad because you haven't played that deep in the fourth quarter. You got healthy guys, which is always a plus, but you haven't had that stress in the fourth quarter of we got to make a play, we got to do this, we got to do that. But I'm sure Coach Buzz has them; they're prepared for it, you know. But it's nice to see, you know, they're still blowing teams out, but these starters are playing a little bit deeper into the games. You know, they're more of a methodical offense with a few big plays scattered in and about, where I couldn't tell you how many times you might see a Crown Point drive in the past few years where it's 2 plays and score.
Right. I just looked up, and Chesterton doesn't have their starting quarterback in the game anymore. Hunter Boyd's not out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Chesterton's just trying to escape this game healthy at this point.
What happened if they pulled all their starters and Crown Point's got their backups in, or because it looks like you're seeing some numbers that you haven't seen before.
I'm gonna take you over here to this Michigan City LaPorte game. Michigan City, I think, just got a first down on a 3rd and short under 5 minutes. They're just outside the 25 on LaPorte's territory.
Yeah, backups are in the game.
Hart
for both teams in the
Crown
Point.
Hart just got about 5 or 6 yards there.
The backups are in the game for both Crown Point and Chesterton.
So this game at this point is just window dressing.
Yeah, it's running clock, and
you got one more regular season game left. Crown Point's going to be taking on Michigan City. And then Chesterton, they'll get ready to be in that very competitive section we were talking about. The only team that should really scare Chesterton from what I've seen is Michigan City.
Yeah.
Because Michigan City and them played. I was on site for that game. And it was a close game, but Michigan City controlled the line of scrimmage both ways, and it really took the wind out of the sails of the Trojans.
Yeah, the big plays, too. The big plays.
That, too, yes.
You know,
McKinney just made a catch, and it's a first down, Michigan City. Under 4 minutes.
They're just, you know, like you said earlier, Michigan City's a second-half team, and they're just kind of taking control of the game.
This is interesting. I didn't see this one down here. Morton scored a touchdown and got the 2-point conversion. Right now, it's an 8-point game under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. And Maryville just put that game to bed.
Yep, they just marched right down the field.
They make it look routine.
They do. They do.
We are hoping to get the Alpha game back up and running as soon as we can. There's some technical difficulties going on over there. So as soon as we can get that video back up, we will hopefully have an update on what's going on over there.
Yep. Portage and Valpo were having technical difficulties. I don't know if you heard Justin. But
maybe I was standing right behind him.
Yeah. Well, working hard to get this back running for you guys.
So scoreboard update, Griffith still 4 times more points than Calumet.
And City is still short.
They're short. They're going to be a yard away. If you're LaPorte, you start taking timeouts to save some clock. There's no 2-minute warning, and you're under 3 minutes.
It's at that point now where are you going to accept the inevitable of giving up a not giving up a touchdown, but Michigan City's going to score?
Well, it's 3rd down. They just stopped Trent Hart at the goal line on a read option. Very short. Game of inches, football.
I mean, worst case scenario, Michigan City can run off a minute 5.
They're inside the 1. I would not be surprised if this was a QB sneak. Line under center and run it up, but
I mean, it's easier said than done.
That's
you got
true.
A team that probably doesn't. Quarterback's never been under center taking a snap.
Yeah, it's baffling to me.
Yeah,
how some quarterbacks look so uncomfortable on one of the easier exchanges in the sport.
Looks like they're calling timeouts now.
Yeah, MC's going to take a timeout.
I mean,
Crown Point's got their backups in, just ran a really good RPO, and they're going to give them a first down.
You know, yeah, for LaPorte, you're going to need as much time on the clock as possible.
Right.
Just
as again, this offense has not scored in the second half. And all it was one fumble, and it opened up the doors for Michigan City to come back and get some momentum. And it wasn't a mistake forced by Michigan City.
Yeah,
it was just LaPorte hurting himself.
Bad exchange. Quarterback.
All it takes is one play like that, and you never know what happens. It opens up the floodgates, and Michigan City, they're a yard away from taking their first lead of the game. Well, final alert. over here from the scorer's desk.
Whiting 52, Wheeler 52, Whiting 0.
Oh, so the Bearcats win 52-0 over the Oilers. I almost feel bad at that point for the Oilers.
Yeah, they've been struggling a little bit.
Well, here we go. 3rd and goal for Michigan City. And Thurman's in for the end zone touchdown. But that's good. That's good because Laporte did not use a timeout. They have all 3 timeouts, and there's 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. That's plenty of time. So that's going to be...
Yep, 4 down territory, everything.
This is where you go deep into your playbook and run the plays you know work.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, you could probably throw out a little screen to Raymond here. You know?
I mean, do you consider lining him out wide and having him run some routes?
He's your best player. You got to do whatever you can to get him the ball, whether it's an open space or off a screen or a wide receiver. Line him up as a wide receiver screen, halfback pass to him, something.
Yeah.
You know,
I completely agree. Let your playmakers make plays. The old saying that you always hear on the Bulls broadcast, big-time players make big-time plays. I believe I saw that Drain is leading Hanover Central 21-0 on the far side of the room.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Hobart's. I guess they're calling them gold jerseys, but they look yellow to me.
Well, Hobart's punting away.
Interception from Chesterton.
He picked that off?
Yep.
Interception by Chesterton.
Can I see a replay of that?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they're showing it again.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Triple coverage there. Looks like that was Jace, not Jace, the Horton kid. Chase, is it Chase Horton? He's the Crown Point's 3rd string. Let me look that up real quick.
More of a 2nd string because Crown Point has 1A and 1B.
Yeah. See if I can find that. I don't want to.
Got any update from Valpo yet? Okay.
So Valpo Portage Stream down at the current moment. 2:20, Michigan City kicking the ball back to Laporte. That game is an audio only on their Region Sports Network. Laporte led for most of this game. Michigan City tied it and then scored to take the lead. A flag being thrown in. If this is on Laporte, it's going to put them way back.
Aaron's got a Stratton Vantel hometown scoreboard update.
We got another final.
Yep, we got Knox 44, Brennan 15.
Knox 44, Brennan 15. So the Knox Redskins get their perfect season alive. What a catch!
You're going to see this in just a moment.
Yeah, check this out.
Watch this.
Ooh.
Excuse me?
That's a nice catch.
We've seen some really good catches today. We saw one in the LC game, saw one from a Portage receiver, and now that wide receiver for Chesterton, number 2.
That quarterback for Crown Point was Chase Horton.
Okay.
Just want to give credit. I mean, not credit, but I don't want to give the wrong name to the wrong person. You know, because you don't want to give somebody credit for throwing an interception, but Reddick, wide open Lake Central. They're driving down the field.
I will say I've seen a lot more positive things from LC today than I've had in other. Oh, what a hit! That was a heavy hit in the LC Maryville game.
You're way ahead of me. Oh, yeah.
Some people would call that a hospital ball.
Yeah, you know, the only reason that's a flag there is because the receiver wasn't turned.
Right, hitting the defensive receiver.
Yeah, defenseless receiver. A great hit. You know, he didn't.
It looked like Chesterton just caught the football up.
Yeah. Turnover by Chesterton.
And that's how the game was going to end.
We're going to probably take a break because Crown Point's about to end.
So we will take a break as the final moments of the Crown Point Chesterton game wraps up. You're watching RSN Zone on game night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and that means temperatures will soon begin to drop. And a region winter is not the time to be left out in the cold. The professionals at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling can tune up that old furnace or install a new unit that can last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable this winter, and with 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, 219-923-4441. Or for more info, the website is forajobdoneright.com.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step toward your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
Life isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that matter the most. Of effort, of a dream taking root. And behind those moments, there's trust. Thank you for trusting Centier Bank with those moments and making us a part of your story. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your trust.
The Athletic Performance Factory is Northwest Indiana's premier athletic training center. The 40,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility features batting cages, a sand training room, a new outdoor turf infield, and so much more. Check out the facility for one of their daily classes at 3150 45th Street in Highland. Interested in signing up for team workouts or individual lessons? Check out their website at trainapf.com or contact them at 219-750-1087. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
We are back on Region Sports Zone. Andrew Mile with Matt Skura. And we've had some games finish up. Crown Point beat Chesterton, and Michigan State's got a huge sack in their game. Unfortunately, the Portage-Valpo game has cut out. Hopefully we get that game running before that game concludes. The score there was 21-3 Vikings before the technical difficulties. We've seen some scores come on through. The final next to them, the Crown Point Chesterton game, has recently gone final. Crown Point's winning streak continues. Chesterton suffers the tough loss.
Yeah, that unfortunately puts Chesterton out of the race for the conference, part of the share of the conference championship. But you know what? They got Maryville next week, another tough matchup, and then it's on to sectionals for them.
Not going to get any easier.
No, it's not.
Talk about the gauntlet to end out your 2025 regular season.
Yep. But I think what they got to look forward to now after watching some film on Saturday is the draw for sectionals.
Right.
You know, hope for the best, expect the worst, and go from there.
We've seen LC fighting to the bitter end. They're down by 23 points to the Pirates. And there's one thing to hear about how good a team is and how people explain it to you, but to actually see it and see how good that offense is, I am thoroughly impressed by the Pirates.
Well,
I think they just missed the extra point, so it's 20-7. 20-7.
20-7.
So Michigan City just won that game. Michigan City, that was down 7-0 for most of the contest, comes back, scores 20 unanswered points, and how much time is left? A minute 17 away from winning their 4th game in a row. Their only loss in conference play was Maryville, 44-7.
Yeah, and you got gonna run into another juggernaut in Crown Point next week.
And would you say for Michigan City, that's going to be a good game for them to finish out the regular season with, to kind of see where they're at as a program, especially as that game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It was, it was a very surprising score to see, but it wasn't unexpected.
Right.
Because I've watched LaPorte play several games this year. They're not a powerhouse, but they play hard.
That's true.
You never know what can happen when you play hard. You run through, you get a turnover here and there, and
they're going to get pass interference on Maryville.
Begging for that one.
We are getting our video back from Portage, so stand by for that.
So we will have the Portage Valpo game coming out very soon.
There is on our one monitor.
So we're seeing it come live on the monitor that's a little bit ahead of RSNZONE. There it is. There's the Vikings in their white uniforms and Portage in their red.
They call the face mask on Maryville not a pass interference.
Interesting.
So
hopefully we can get a score bug up for that game.
The last time we saw it was 21-3, I believe.
Yes.
Valpo was leading.
Yeah. So that puts that face mask play puts Lake Central in scoring position inside the 10. Again, we don't want to see moral victories, but it'd be nice to see Lake Central put up 6 here. Onside's kick, and you never know what'll happen. Ooh.
Reddick's leg gave out when he was going to his left. Looked like maybe the turf monster. Yeah, he's getting up fine.
You get to this point in the year, and that turf gets a little slippery.
Yeah, it's true. Even though LC was only able to score 12 points, we saw him sustain a 99-yard drive after the defense got a stop at the goal line. And I'd say Reddick really stepped up. If LC wants to find any sort of postseason success, they need their D1 quarterback to make some big throws. And LC is going to score a touchdown.
Nice touchdown. And I don't know. Interception by Michigan City.
What's going on in the Morton-Hobart game? That was an 8-point game last time I saw. Ooh. And they're in the 4th?
That game is final 63 Griffith,
It's 34-3 Valpo.
Oh, my goodness. That took a big turn.
Yeah, it did. I wish we could have seen what happened.
Right.
For them to get those, 2 touchdowns. But
just outside of a running clock there, but 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. 2-point conversion is no good for Lake Central. But, and I can't tell, it's still close enough, but it's far enough away where Maryville may have had some 2s in the game along with their 1s.
Right.
I don't know starters offhand, but, that's probably right now the weak link for Maryville is their defense.
Yes.
And
they are built for those 45 to 42 games where you're going to see the ball go up and down the field like it's a track meet. But if their defense can force some turnovers, they don't have to go out there and make 3 and outs every time. But key turnovers at key times may allow Maryville to finally get that deep postseason run that they've been desperately looking for these last decade or two.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about how good our teams are, how Crown Points, the Maryvilles, Andreans, but the standard, unfortunately, the standard is the Indianapolis schools.
Yeah,
and
Circle City.
Schools down south, and it doesn't help that that area has open enrollment. So
Yes.
the better football players can go to certain schools. In the past, it was Ben Davis for a little while. Then it was Center Grove. New Palestine's been a dominant force. Warren Central.
Alert, Michigan City will take it 7.
So Michigan City wins 20-7, going 20 unanswered in the second half. All in the fourth quarter, I believe, right? It was 7-0 going to the fourth?
Yes, 7-0 going to the fourth.
Michigan City, 20 points in the fourth quarter to get the win. They're still living up to that label that they are a second-half team.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get done. They do whatever it takes.
We will ask folks that are wanting to watch the rest of Maryville Lake Central to tune into that individual stream, as that is going to be the last broadcast that will be still in progress.
So we would just ask anyone that wants to finish up the Maryville LC game to go find it on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you get your Region Sports Network content, because that will be the final game here in RSN on this week 8. It's probably we got one more week left of the regular season, and then it's really time to the nitty-gritty sectional starting up. And you even said Sunday, the Selection Sunday, we're going to find out our first round of sectional play.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm kind of excited. You got football,
yes,
all day Sunday, and then more football before the Sunday night game.
Then at that time of year where there's going to be 49 straight days of football, whether it be college, high school, or the NFL,
yes.
Can't beat it.
Nope, can't beat that.
In the Vikings final 34-3, they beat Portage. Portage now one loss away from going empty-handed in the regular season. Angel Mile with Matt Skura. One more game here on the Region Sports Network, and we've seen some really good ones. But I think I want to revisit that Michigan City-LaPorte game because, as you said, LaPorte, they'll fight. They go out there and they'll pin their ears back and give you good 48 minutes of football. But Michigan City's offense did not look very good, which is shocking me because we're talking about how explosive they are. I didn't see any big plays for them today.
No, there wasn't any big plays. I mean, the biggest play of the game was LaPorte fumbling on their 50-yard line.
Right.
And Michigan City takes it, drives it in. If you see a Michigan City team score 0 points in the first half against Crown Point, they're not going to have a chance to be a second-half team.
Right. And Crown Point's known for being get up to 21 points and then settle down a little bit. And Maryville scoring the touchdown. Another routine 40-burger by the Maryville Pirates. Just insane from what we've seen from the Maryville Pirates this season. And Michael Hill Jr. continuing to impress. He's had a lot of touchdowns again. He's racking up the stats. And again, he'll get some votes for the Indiana Football Player of the Year. And the final play we'll see on the RSN zone is this extra point.
Yep. And unfortunately, we will not show you every touchdown
that happened. Don't have that compilation or that melt from together. But
we're good. We're not that good.
No. I know I'm not that tech savvy. But Matt, I will say it was really fun hanging out with you here on the RSN zone with everyone else here, especially Justin Cole, even though he didn't want to look back at the screen back there with Calumet going down 56-14 by the half.
That was another surprising game. I didn't think it was going to go that way.
No.
63 points. 56 at half. Ugh.
Nuts. But one more RSN zone for the regular season, week 9. Big shout out to Caleb Bernard, who worked our multicast, and Aaron Svetlin, who worked the scoreboard and giving us all the updates and getting excited anytime a game went final. For my partner, Matt Skura, I've been Andrew Miley. It's been the RSN Zone. We'll catch you later for the wrap-up show later on tonight.